Welcome to It's English Podcast, where English feels easy, calm, and natural.
Hey, welcome back to It's English Podcast, the show that believes your voice deserves to be heard. I am Brian, and oh my goodness, I am so happy you are here today.
And I am Mary. Hello, everyone. Whether you are walking, cooking, sitting on the bus, or hiding under a blanket pretending the world does not exist, we are really glad you're here with us.
Yes, no judgment on the blanket people. We love the blanket people. Actually, okay, I have to tell you something. Yesterday was a blanket day for me. I just could not leave my sofa. I was so tired.
Brian sent me a voice message at 11 in the morning saying, and I am quoting him exactly, "Brian, today I am a potato."
I was a potato, a very tired, very comfortable potato. But then, you know what I told myself? I said, Brian, even a potato can do one small thing. So I sat up and I practiced my Spanish for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes.
And that's actually the spirit of everything we are going to talk about today. Even when fear is loud, even when you feel frozen, you can still do one small thing. And that connects perfectly to our topic.
Yes, today we're talking about something that almost every English learner feels, every single one. And that thing is fear, the fear of speaking English.
The fear of making mistakes, the fear of sounding strange, the fear that people will judge you, laugh at you, or not understand you. This fear is so real and so common.
And here's our promise to you today. We are not going to just say, oh, just be confident, because come on, that doesn't help anyone, right?
Exactly. Instead, we want to show you something different. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is actually your signal, your brain telling you that something important is happening. And when you learn to work with your fear instead of fighting it, your English life changes completely.
So, if you have ever frozen in the middle of a sentence, gone quiet when you wanted to speak, or felt your heart jump before a conversation in English, this episode is made 100% for you. Stay with us.
Tip 1. Understand why fear happens.
Brian, can I ask you something personal? Do you remember the first time you felt really scared about speaking in another language? Like truly terrified?
Oh, yes, very clearly. I was maybe 17 years old. I was in a classroom and the teacher asked me a question in English. I knew the answer. I really did know it, but suddenly my mind went completely blank, like someone turned off all the lights inside my brain.
The lights just went off. Oh, I love that picture. Because that's exactly what it feels like, right? You know the word is somewhere inside you, but you can't find it. It's like looking for your phone in a dark room.
And there's actually a real reason why this happens. There's a part of your brain, a small but very powerful part, that responds to danger. When it senses a threat, a real threat, or even an imagined one, it sends a very fast signal to your whole body. It says, stop, be careful, protect yourself.
Wait, so my brain thinks speaking English is dangerous?
To your brain, the risk of embarrassment or judgment can feel a little like danger, yes. It wants to protect you, so it freezes your body, it blocks your words, it makes your mind go blank. That's not you being stupid, that's not your English being bad, that's your brain trying to keep you safe.
Oh, wow. So when I forgot that word in my meeting last week and everyone looked at me and I just stood there with my mouth open, that was my brain protecting me. That wasn't me being terrible at English.
Exactly. And understanding this is the first and most important step. Fear is not a sign that you can't speak English. It's a sign that speaking English matters to you, that it's important to you. And actually, that's something beautiful.
So, the next time your mind goes blank or your words disappear, take a breath and remember, my brain is trying to protect me. It is not my enemy. Now, let's talk about what we do with that fear. Tip number 2, Rename your fear. Call it excitement.
Mary, here's something I find fascinating. A study from Harvard University found that the physical feeling of fear and the physical feeling of excitement are almost identical in the body.
Wait, seriously? Like my heart beats fast when I'm scared and when I'm excited?
Yes, your hands might shake a little, your heart beats faster, you breathe more quickly. Your body does the same things. The only difference is the word your mind uses to describe what's happening.
So if I say to myself, I'm scared to speak English, I feel small, I want to hide, I want to disappear. But if I say, I'm excited to speak English, I feel more energy, more power.
Exactly right. Try this. Next time before an English conversation, a meeting, a phone call, talking to a stranger at a shop, instead of saying, in your head, I'm so nervous, say, I'm excited. This is going to be interesting.
And I know, it sounds almost too simple, but I tried this before a podcast recording last month. I just kept telling myself, Brian, you are excited, not scared. Excited. And honestly, it helped. My voice was more relaxed, my words came more easily.
Because your brain genuinely listens to the words you give it. You are the narrator of your own experience. If you tell your brain you're in danger, it prepares to protect you, and it blocks your language. If you tell your brain you're excited, it prepares to perform.
So, your micro homework for tip 2. This week, before any English moment where you feel nervous, just whisper to yourself, I'm excited. 2 tiny words. Try it once and see what happens.
Mary, tip 3, the one-sentence rule. Start impossibly small.
Okay, this tip comes completely from my own experience, and I'm a little embarrassed to tell this story. But here we go. When I was learning Portuguese a few years ago, I could not speak. I was absolutely terrified.
What were you most afraid of?
I had this image in my head. I would open my mouth, say something wrong, and everyone around me would turn and laugh. This image was so strong in my mind that it stopped me from speaking for months. Months, Mary.
And most learners have this exact image, this imaginary audience of people waiting to judge every mistake. But here's the truth. In real life, most people are kind. Most people genuinely appreciate it when someone tries to speak their language.
So, my language teacher at the time gave me this one simple instruction. She said, Brian, I don't want you to have a full conversation today. I don't want you to make friends in Portuguese. I just want you to say one sentence to one person. That's all.
And what happened?
I went to a coffee shop near my house and I said in Portuguese, 1 coffee, please. That's 3 words. And the person behind the counter smiled and said, of course. And I walked away and I almost cried because I did it. My whole body had been so scared and I did it and nothing bad happened. The world didn't end.
And that's exactly the point. Every big journey begins with one small step that feels almost too small to matter. In English, that step can be one sentence, one greeting. Excuse me, how do I get to the station? Can I have the menu, please? Nice weather today. Small and real and brave.
So, your challenge this week is simple. Find one moment, just one, where you speak English. One sentence, even if it's out loud to yourself in your bedroom. It counts. All of it counts. Tip 4. Make mistakes your friends, not your enemies.
Brian, let me ask you something. When a little child is learning to walk and they fall down, do we call that child a failure?
No, of course not. We say, oh, so close, try again. We clap for them, we get excited for them.
Right, but when we make a grammar mistake in English, when we say the wrong tense or forget a word in front of someone, what do we usually say to ourselves?
We say, I am so stupid. I always make this mistake. My English is a disaster. Why can I not get this right? We are very mean to ourselves.
And that is not fair, is it? You are a baby learning to walk in a new language. Falling, making mistakes, is not failure. It is part of the process. The real question is simply, do you get back up?
I used to get so angry at myself. Like, I would say the wrong tense in a meeting. Maybe I said, I buyed, instead of I bought. And I would spend the next hour just replaying it in my head, over and over. Why did I say that? Everyone heard me. So embarrassing.
That is called rumination, when your mind keeps chewing on the same negative moment. And the painful truth is that the rumination often causes more damage than the actual mistake. The mistake takes 2 seconds. The rumination can take 2 hours of your precious mental energy.
So here's the simple switch that helped me completely. Now, when I make a mistake, I say 3 words to myself. Good, I learned. Not, I am stupid. Just, good, I learned. Because now my brain has new information. It will remember the correct version next time. Mistakes are actually how the brain builds stronger memories.
And this is not just a nice idea. Research on language learning shows this is literally true. When you make a mistake and then you notice it and correct it, your brain forms a stronger memory of the correct form than if you had simply read it in a book and never made the mistake at all.
Mistakes are memory tools. Write that down. Put it on your wall. Mistakes are memory tools. Tip 5. Build your brave zone.
You have probably heard of the comfort zone, the place where everything feels easy and safe. Then outside that is the learning zone, where things are challenging but possible. And then there's the panic zone, where things feel completely impossible and overwhelming.
Yes, and so many people try to jump directly from the comfort zone straight to the panic zone. They say, okay, I need to speak English, so tomorrow I will do a business presentation in front of 20 people. And then they panic completely, and they give up, and they say, I am not good at English.
So, instead of jumping to the panic zone, we want you to build what I call your brave zone. It's the space that sits between comfortable and terrifying, a place where you feel a little nervous, but it's still okay. You can breathe, you can function.
And you build the brave zone in levels. Level 1. Talk to yourself in English for 2 minutes in front of a mirror. Just describe your morning. I woke up. I had coffee. My coffee was good. Simple, private, 0 risk.
Level 2, write 1 comment in English on a YouTube video or a social media post. Something like, great video, I learned something new today. You practice the language and someone might reply to you.
And you build up. Level 3, join a language exchange app like Tandem or HelloTalk and start with text chat, not voice, just text. Text gives you time to think. It's less scary but still real practice with real people.
Continuing, Level 4, record a short voice message in English on your phone. Listen to it back. Hear your own voice. You don't even have to send it to anyone. Just hearing yourself speak English builds real confidence.
And Level 5, a real conversation, a real human, real time, real English. And by the time you reach Level 5, you've already been brave so many times in the smaller zones that you trust yourself. You have evidence that you can do this.
The brave zone is not about making fear disappear. Fear might always be there a little bit. The brave zone is about making fear smaller and more manageable, 1 step at a time, until your courage is bigger than your fear.
5 tips. Understand why fear happens, rename fear as excitement, use the 1-sentence rule, make mistakes your friends, and build your brave zone. These are not magic, but they are real and they work if you practice them consistently.
And if you take nothing else from today's conversation, please take this. Every fluent English speaker you admire was once exactly where you are right now, afraid, uncertain, making mistakes. The only difference between them and someone who stopped is that they kept going. All right, everyone, welcome to our favorite part of the show, the vocabulary section. We're going to take some of the most useful words from today's conversation and walk through them together, slowly, clearly, in a way that really sticks.
And you don't need to write every single word down right now. Just listen. Let your brain absorb the sounds and the meanings. You can always come back and listen again. Ready? Let's go.
Our first word is freeze. Freeze means to suddenly stop, to become still because you are scared or shocked, like ice. You can't move, you can't speak.
For example, he froze completely when the teacher called his name in class.
We often say, my mind froze, or I froze in the conversation. It doesn't mean something is wrong with you, it just means your brain got a little scared and hit the pause button.
The pause button. Yes, my brain has hit the pause button in so many English conversations. And now I know that's just my brain protecting me. I can press play again.
Our second word is embarrassment. Embarrassment is the uncomfortable feeling you get when you do something wrong or awkward in front of other people. It makes your face feel hot and you want to disappear.
For example, she felt embarrassment when she used the wrong word, but she smiled and kept going.
Here's something important about embarrassment. It feels very big in the moment, like the whole world is watching. But usually, the other person has already forgotten about it 30 seconds later. The embarrassment lives much longer in your head than in anyone else's.
Oh, this is so true. I once said I am very full in Portuguese when I meant I am very hot. I said the wrong word for hot, and I thought about it for 3 days. The other person probably forgot immediately.
Our next word is confident. Confident means you believe in yourself and your abilities. You feel sure enough to try, even when it's not perfect.
For example, she wasn't perfect, but she spoke in a confident voice and everyone listened.
And here's a small secret about confidence. You don't need to feel confident before you speak. You can feel nervous and still look confident. Confidence isn't a feeling first, it's an action first. You act brave and the feeling follows.
Yes, act first, feel later. I love this. So many people wait until they feel confident before they try. But the truth is, you get confident by trying. The trying comes first.
Next word, hesitate. To hesitate means to pause before doing something because you are not sure or because you are afraid. You stop for a moment even when you could go forward.
For example, he hesitated before answering because he was afraid of saying something wrong.
A small amount of hesitation is completely normal. We all do it. But when hesitation becomes too big, when it stops you from speaking at all, that is when we need to gently push through it. Even 1 second of bravery can break the hesitation.
1 second of bravery. I like that. Like, you hesitate, you feel the fear, and then you take one breath and you just open your mouth. Even if the words are not perfect, even if your voice shakes, you go.
Our next word is consistent. Consistent means doing something regularly, again and again, not just once and then stopping. It means you keep going even when you do not feel like it.
For example, she was consistent with her English practice, 10 minutes every single day, no matter what.
Think of consistent practice like watering a plant. You don't water it one time for 1 hour and then forget it. You give it a little water every day. And slowly, without you even noticing, it grows. Language learning is exactly the same.
The plant. I love this. And the days when you water the plant and you think, nothing is happening, this is not working, those days still matter. The roots are growing underground. You just can't see them yet.
Next, overcome. To overcome something means to successfully deal with a problem or a difficulty. You face it, you fight through it, and you come out the other side stronger.
For example, he worked hard and eventually overcame his fear of speaking in public.
Overcome is a beautiful word because it contains the idea of movement. You go over the obstacle, not around it forever, not away from it. You go over. And what's on the other side? Freedom, fluency, confidence, the things you have been working toward.
Over the obstacle. I want everyone listening to say this word out loud right now. Overcome. Say it. Overcome. Feel the power in it, because you are already overcoming something just by listening to this podcast today.
Our next word is fluent. When you are fluent in a language, you can speak it easily and naturally. The words come without too much effort. Conversations flow smoothly.
After 2 years of consistent practice, she finally felt fluent in everyday conversations.
And here's something very important. Fluent does not mean perfect. Fluent does not mean you never make a mistake or never forget a word. Many fluent speakers make small grammar mistakes every day. Fluent means comfortable, natural, able to communicate freely.
Oh, this is such a relief. I think so many learners wait to speak until they are perfect, but perfect doesn't exist. Fluent is the goal, not perfect. Comfortable, natural, free. That's what we're going for.
Our next phrase is brave zone. We talked about this in our tips. The brave zone is the space between comfortable and terrifying, where you feel a little nervous, but you try anyway.
For example, sending a voice message in English was outside her comfort zone, but it was her brave zone. A little scary, but possible.
Think of the brave zone like the shallow end of a swimming pool. You're not ready for the deep end yet, but the shallow end, you can touch the floor, you're safe. And every time you swim in the shallow end, you get a little stronger and a little more ready for deeper water.
The shallow end of the pool, yes. And you don't have to go to the deep end tomorrow. You just have to get in the water. Even standing in the shallow end is progress. Even putting your feet in is brave.
Next word, momentum. Momentum is the energy and forward movement you build when you keep doing something again and again. Once momentum starts, it becomes easier to keep going.
For example, every small English conversation she had added momentum to her progress.
Imagine pushing a very heavy ball. The very first push is the hardest moment. Every muscle is working. But once the ball starts rolling, it gets easier. The ball carries itself a little. That's momentum. And in English learning, every small, brave action you take builds momentum for the next one.
So the hardest moment is always the first push, the first sentence, the first voice message, the first conversation. After that, the ball is rolling. And once it's rolling, you just have to keep it moving. That's so much easier than starting from zero.
And our final word today, self-doubt. Self-doubt is when you don't believe in yourself or your abilities. It's the voice inside your head that says, you can't do this, or you're not good enough.
Self-doubt told him his English was too bad to speak, but he spoke anyway, and he was understood perfectly.
Everyone has self-doubt sometimes, even very experienced speakers, even professional people, even language teachers. The goal is not to silence self-doubt forever. The goal is simply to take action even when self-doubt is talking. You let it talk, but you move anyway.
You let it talk, but you move anyway. I think that might be the most important sentence of this whole episode. Self-doubt can sit in the back seat, but you are driving. Your goals are driving, and you are going forward.
10 beautiful words: freeze, embarrassment, confident, hesitate, consistent, overcome, fluent, brave zone, momentum, and self-doubt. These are not just English words. These are words about your journey, about what you feel and what you are growing through.
Pick one of these words this week, just one, that really speaks to you. Use it in a sentence, write it in your notebook, say it out loud, because that's how your vocabulary grows, one word at a time, used with real feeling. And we're coming to the end of today's episode, and honestly, I feel really good right now. We talked about real things today: fear, mistakes, the brave zone, self-doubt. These are not abstract ideas. These are the actual things that stop real people from speaking.
And I hope that somewhere in today's conversation, something clicked for you. Maybe it was understanding that your brain freezes to protect you, not because you're not smart enough. Maybe it was the one-sentence rule. Maybe it was knowing that mistakes are memory tools, not signs of failure.
Because here's what we truly believe at It's English Podcast. Your voice matters. Your story matters. And the world deserves to hear you. In English, in your own language, in whatever way you choose to share yourself. English can open so many doors for you. And the only thing standing between you and those doors is the decision to keep going.
And now, our listener question for the week. And it's a simple but very powerful one. We want to know, what is your biggest fear about speaking English right now? Is it grammar mistakes? Is it your accent? Is it forgetting words in the middle of a sentence? Is it the fear of being judged?
Drop your answer in the comments below this video. We read every single comment. Every one. And here's why sharing your fear actually helps you. When you name a fear, it becomes a little smaller. And when you read someone else's comment and you see they have the same fear as you, suddenly you feel less alone, and that changes everything.
Your homework from today's episode: pick one tip from our 5 tips and try it before our next episode. Just one. Maybe you try the one-sentence rule at a coffee shop or at a store. Maybe you rename your fear as excitement before one English moment. Tell us what you tried. Tell us what happened.
And we want to say a big, warm, genuine thank you to everyone who has been listening, subscribing, and leaving comments. You make this podcast what it is. Every time you listen, every time you share, every time you leave a comment, you're helping another learner find their way to this show.
If today's episode helped you even a little, please share it with one person who's learning English. One share can change someone's entire English journey. We mean that with all our hearts.
This is Brian saying, be brave, be consistent, and remember, every mistake is a lesson wearing a funny hat. Don't throw away the lesson just because you don't like the hat. Keep speaking, keep growing.
And this is Mary saying, you're doing so much better than you think. The fact that you listened all the way to the end of this episode, that's not nothing. That's your brave zone in action. Go easy on yourself. And we'll be right here next week with another episode made just for you. See you next time on It's English Podcast. Bye for now.